मातो न माता न बन्धुर्न ताता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न वेद्या न वृत्तिर्ममैव कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि भवद्भावपारे महादुःखभीरु पपाथा प्रकामे प्रलोभे प्रमथा कसंसारपाश प्रबधा सदाहम् कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि ध्यानं न च ध्यानयोगम् न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रम् न जानामि पूजं न च न्यासयोगम् गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थम् न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं वृतं वापि माता गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका
Hello, everyone. Very, very hearty welcome to all of you today. Very, very hearty welcome for today's session. You've all made it through week one, which is so fantastic. So if you've been attending all or most of the sessions till now, a very, very hearty congratulations for having made it so far. In week one, we started off with self-realization, which is the first and the most important step. And after that, we taught you how to balance yourself. As we've already told you, you have a left side, a right side. Right is the side of our action. It is also where we are more inclined to think about a future or plan. And the left side is your emotions and a lot of attachment that we have towards past. So whatever memories we hold on to, emotions we hold on to from the past is your left side. It's also the side of our desire, as our right side is the side of our action. So the right and the left sort of balance each other, and we taught you how to balance them to be in the center, which is the present. We also taught you some clearing techniques. We taught you how to do a foot soak, which is soaking your feet in water for at night for 5 minutes before going to bed. And we also taught you how to use a candle if you are a very left-sided person. And if you struggle emotionally and you're constantly delving into past, candling is a very, very effective technique to balance your left side. And then we also taught you how to use ice pack to cool down your liver, which is a very, very integral organ in our body, which removes the toxins. So all of that was covered in week one. And today we start, and also we had a workshop at the end of week one, which was yesterday. A lot of you joined in, and we had requested Sahaja Yogis, practicing Sahaja Yogis from across the world to join in. And we basically put all of you all into breakout rooms with Sahaja Yogis, where you could have a one-on-one interactive session, meditation, you could ask questions. And there was lovely feedback from yesterday's session, the workshop. Sahaja Yogis had a very, very good feedback, and so did all of you, which is so heartwarming. So basically, that makes all this effort that we've put into creating this program a success. So yay for that. And coming to today, we're starting week two, and week two is basically a journey going deeper. We've already told you about the subtle system and the 7 energy centers that we have on our subtle system. And starting today, we will be going deeper into each of these energy centers. So we will be talking in detail about what are the aspects of these energy centers, and how to meditate upon them to strengthen them. These are very, very significant sessions, so you can always access the recordings of these sessions even in the future. We are not going to be deleting any of these sessions, as many of you have asked us. There is no expiry date on any of these sessions. They will be available to you anytime you want to see them. And basically, today is the first energy center, which is first and the second. We're going to be covering 2 of them today, and basically giving you a little bit of an explanation and then a meditation on these 2 energy centers. And these are basically the foundation, very, very significant sessions in that sense. They are sort of the foundation building blocks on which our whole subtle system is existing. So very, very significant session. I'll tell you more on that shortly. We are also welcoming anyone who's brand new for today's session. As always, we will be creating a breakout room for you in case you have not had your self-realization, and if you haven't attended any of the sessions with us so far. So if you are brand new, we will be putting you in a breakout room where we have a lovely Sahaja Yogi waiting for you to give you your self-realization and bring you a little bit up to speed. So if you are new and you have not attended any session so far, can you please just give me a second. Are we doing a poll or are we putting yes in the chat?
In the chat, please. Thanks.
Yes, okay, thanks. Just confirming. Thank you to the lovely technical team, which is always working around the clock and making all of this possible. So if you are brand new and you have not done any session with us so far, or if you have not had your self-realization, please put a yes in the chat below. There should be a chat icon there. Just put a yes there. And if you put a yes, you don't have to do anything more. We will make sure you move to a breakout room and you can start by getting your self-realization. So if you are new, please put yes and just sit back. And while that is being organized, for the rest of you, as I was saying, today we're going to be working, meditating upon the first two energy centers. And I had put up a poll very recently on the group asking if any of us struggle with attention. Attention meaning if we are constantly, if say, for example, I am talking right now, and all of a sudden, while you're listening to me, your brain's also thinking about something else. So in between, you think about something else and you stop listening to me. And then you sort of have to catch up, like, what was that person saying? And this can happen when you're in office meetings, or if you're having a conversation, more so when you're listening to a conversation which is a bit boring or not to your interest. In those circumstances, we tend to struggle a bit more with holding our attention. That is basically attention. When we're trying to think like, oh, what was that person saying again? I didn't really hear that person, didn't really hear what they said. Like I heard most of it, but not all of it. That kind of situation mostly happens when we do not have a very strong attention. Or say, for example, if we take up a task and we're trying to complete it, but we sort of lose focus in between and we struggle. Or we set up a goal, but we do not have the determination or the grit to hold on to that determination, to hold on to that task and bring it to the finish line. Not all of us, but some of us definitely struggle with that. And I personally am one of those people. I can set up a task for myself and then struggle to finish it. And gradually with meditation, I am getting better, but I'm definitely not there yet. But it has helped me identify and slowly meditate to have the confidence that I can do it and I can finish it. And every time I do, it feels so good. It boosts my confidence and makes me feel like I did it. I overcame my shortcomings. So these qualities basically come from the first two energy centers, which is the Mooladhara and the Swadhishthana. Like I said, the foundation of our subtle system. The Mooladhara is the energy center that provides you with the quality of innocence, which is, like I said, the building block of life. And Swadhishthana is basically where the wisdom comes from. And it is also the center that controls our thoughts. Because our liver sort of makes a big portion of our Swadhishthana chakra. Cooling down your liver really helps with cooling down or slowing down your thoughts, especially when you're thinking and overthinking a lot, which is, again, the seat of your attention and thoughts. You might be thinking thoughts should come from the brain, but your liver is actually processing all these thoughts constantly, trying to remove toxins and trying to manage your body. It's sort of like the radiator of your body. So that's why cooling down your liver can actually also help cool down your brain. So more on that shortly when we begin with the session. There is one more very significant thing that I have to tell you before I hand over to our lovely presenters for today. And that is, you know how sometimes we meet somebody who has a very positive aura, you know, somebody who has a very infectious energy, somebody who can uplift you a lot. Say, for example, you become friends with somebody like that. We hold on to that friendship so dearly because we know that every time we're going to be coming in contact with that person is going to uplift us. Isn't that true? Every time we feel like we come in the company of that person, we get really good vibrations, we get a good aura. And like I said, we hold on to people like that. And for that reason, we placed Shri Mataji's photograph for all our meditation sessions. You might have noticed that up until now, every time we're meditating, we always have her photograph there. She is not just the founder of Sahaja Yoga. She is not just the giver of all this knowledge. She is also an emitter of a lot of positive vibrations, which is why we always have a tendency to keep her photograph there so she can emit those positive vibrations that we can absorb while we're meditating. And that is a very, very significant thing for meditation. Like I explained, when we have somebody who emits positivity, we hold on to them. We want to keep them as a part of our life. In a very similar manner, we hold on to our guru, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga, in the same sense of gratitude, and have her photograph there as somebody who emits a lot of positivity, a lot of positive vibrations that we can absorb. So you will shortly be seeing some of the photographs on the screen. We will make all these photographs available for you to download. When they are ready, I will most definitely let you know. They will be put on the website from where you can download them. We are getting that organized in the background. But today, I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know why it is so significant. Oh, I think it's already done. Our tech team is really fast. I think they've already enabled it. Last I knew, they were trying to get that organized. So as you can see on the screen, when you go to www.freemeditation.com.au/AUG2023, that is the website. If you scroll down and go on the resources, there is a tab right there which says see all resources. You can click on that, and there's a drop-down menu. As soon as you see the drop-down menu, there is one label there, the one tab there that says resources, photos, Shri Mataji's meditation photos. And from here, you can download whichever photograph you think resonates with you. There's a few options available, and you can just download and keep them on your computer. And if you have the desire, eventually print them and put them in a frame. We do. I have a few photographs in my house, and it's always a reminder to have that positivity in my life, to know that there's scope to grow. And like I said, she is an emitter of very positive vibrations. So wanted to let you know about that today before we start. Without further ado, you're here for meditation. I'm going to invite our guest for today, Sean. Welcome, Sean. And you might have seen him in the welcome video. He is a musician and loves teaching people music as well. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to him so he can take you through today's session. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that, Monica. I really appreciate it. A big welcome to everybody over here, whether if it's day, night, or evening. We just want to say a big welcome. It's a big honor for me to really just share this knowledge with you. I'll start with just a little bit about myself. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for almost 20 years. For me, Sahaja Yoga is a way of life, and it's something that I find that's really helpful with my day-to-day. It's not just like a shirt that I put on and I take it off. It's something that I really embody in my lifestyle. And you would have experienced in your first week here of just learning what Sahaja Yoga is all about and what it's brought to you. And now, as Monica said, we're going to go deeper. We're really going to understand all these subtleties that we're learning at the moment. So really excited to be here and really just want to share this journey with all of you. So if we can have the slides up, please, just so that we can have people know what's happening. So we can just take up the gray butt snips. Yep. Take that off. Yep, thank you. Okay, so today's agenda is really simple. We're just going to start with a quick meditation to help us center ourselves. Followed by that, we're going to listen to a talk by Shri Mataji about the first two chakras. Then we're going to learn a little bit about it. And then we're going to have some live music from Florida. I won't speak too much, but first what we're going to do is raise our Kundalini. So let's all do it together right now. So just a quick reminder, we basically do like a coil and go all the way to the top. So let's start with the first one, going from the base of our spine. And tie one knot. Okay, now going to do the second one. And then we go to do the third one. Now let's do the bandhan. So let's just first close our eyes. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths. Let us be present in the current moment. If there's any thoughts that come into your head, just say, not this thought. Now, if we will, we'll listen to a talk by Shri Mataji about the first two chakras, which is the Mooladhara and the Swadhishthana.
But as Kundalini rises, on every center, you start getting the light of that center. At the first center, you get back your innocence. Your eyes become innocent. Your behavior becomes innocent. You are not filled with lust and greed. You don't look at things with lust and greed, but you look at things with innocence, which is a very big thing that people have lost, and that you get back. And such a person develops many qualities. One of them is that such a person is full of fragrance. Such a person has a tremendous gravity. Tremendous gravity. And such a person has tremendous dynamism, and attraction is a bad word, so I don't want to use it, but magnetic. His magnet is awakened within him. This is the center of your magnet, of the earth. Such a person develops a tremendous sense of roads and sense of direction. You place him anywhere, he will know where to go, like birds. You place birds anywhere, they know which side is north, south, east, west. In the same way, you also develop your lost innocence and your magnet within you by which you have proper direction. But the highest of all, you develop the proper direction to wisdom, which is the wise thing to do. You just don't do stupid things. You just don't do. Even if you ever try to do it, you will not do it because you know it is so stupid. Just you don't do it. It is so simple to be wise than to be stupid. Because if you have to be stupid, you have to go out of the way to be stupid and idiotic. But if you want to be normal and wise, is the easiest thing to do. So this center, that is what we call the Swadhishthana center, is a center that gives you your future energy to think of your future, your planning, which gives you energy to bring forth the manifestation of the physical labor or physical exercise or physical work. This poor center has to work for one work, to convert the fat for the use of the brain. Now, if one center which has to do many other things starts doing only one work, all other things are neglected. As a result of that, you develop problems because it has to cater to your liver, to your pancreas, to your kidneys, to your spleen. And once it goes into action for one channelized work, it gets programmed for it. And then it cannot take care of these things. That's how you develop a bad liver. You develop a diabetes, kidney trouble, blood pressures. Also you develop a very serious disease called blood cancer. Now Sahaja Yoga can cure all these troubles. It's only physical. But it can cure even physical troubles, because if this center is brought to its normal behavior, if it is made to behave in a very normal way, you can easily cure all such diseases which come out of your overactivity, overthinking, over-imaginativeness. It's a very dangerous thing to always think about the future. For example, now we are here sitting down, we should be comfortably sitting down and talking to each other. Instead of that, now we are thinking, what am I going to go do tomorrow, or what am I going to do when I go home, how am I going to cook, what am I going to eat, or how I am going to take my train. All these futuristic behaviors lead you to a very funny personality. You become so futuristic that you forget the past. I met a gentleman who forgot even his own name. He forgot the name of his father, he forgot the name of his mother, and also, to the dismay of his wife, her name. And she started crying. She said, now what to do? He's forgotten everything. Now he is in a futuristic area. He just knows the future. Then he was to be pushed back again into the center. Then gradually he started remembering. Then he told me that he's chairman of one of the councils of a big district place in India. And he said he was. He said, no, I am. I said, that's good. That's better. Now you are in that state where you say, I am. So this is what happens. And this is what's going to happen to our societies here, which is very futuristic. So to cut it down, one can try anything. You may try anything. For example, you may show pictures of the past and things like that, but that is not going to bring back the horse. It's running very fast. The only thing that can work it out is the awakening of the Kundalini. When the Kundalini awakens itself, she makes the center enlighten, and the center itself resumes its normal shape, its normal behavior, and its normal condition. Apart from that, it has got a dynamic power or manifestation that this center which looks after our attention becomes enlightened, and our attention becomes enlightened, and the attention which is enlightened becomes dynamic. In the sense now, sitting down here, you can pay attention to anyone. Just pay attention. You don't have to do anything. Just pay attention to that person, and you can find out on your fingertips what's the matter with the person. Thousands of miles he may be. When Nixon was having trouble, suddenly, I don't know, I said, find out about Nixon, how is he? And they said, he's in a terrible mess. Christ has said, your hands will speak. Thus the time has come. These hands, which look so simple, but they are so intricate and so intricately built that the nerve endings are so microscopic that we cannot understand how much they can tell us, how far they can go. When the awakening takes place, you start feeling the vibrations around you, the all-pervading power which you have never felt before, through these fingertips which we neglect, we misuse them, we use them for wrong things. These fingertips themselves get enlightened, and you start feeling them. That's what I said, that you have to get your awareness which is enlightened. It's the awareness which has to manifest. And that's how you start feeling them on your fingers. It's wrong here, it's wrong there. You can see where is the problem. Now all these are related to your centers. These are 5, 6 and 7. 7 on the left and 7 on the right. So this is about your emotional side, and this is about your right. About your physical and your rational, or you can say mental side. So you can make out a person how he is.
Wow, what a great talk by Shri Mataji herself. Just basically about the two concepts. The two energy centers. So we'll first start with the Mooladhara chakra. So if you could just go to the next slide, please. So the Mooladhara is basically the first chakra in our subtle system. It's located just at the base of the spine. The word is basically from Sanskrit, and Mool has the Mool of the word Mooladhara is root, and Adha, which is support. So it's very apt that it's located at the base of the spine, and it helps us to really just establish the foundation of everything. Next slide, please. Yep, as I said to you before, it's located at the base of the spine. So on your hand, it should be just located just around here, just at the base of your palm as well. So if you ever feel like a bit of a prickly or tingly sense, that means that's your Mooladhara chakra basically talking to you, so to speak. And on your head, it's just at the back of your head, just right at the, I think just where there's a little lumpy spot just at the back of your head. If you feel that there, that's basically where the Mooladhara chakra is. Next slide, please. The Mooladhara chakra has the characteristics that come behind it. Basically, it has 4 petals. So we've got on each 1, and then 2, and then 1 on the bottom. The color that associates with it is the coral red. As I said to you before, the physical plexus is basically talking about the body part, so the physical, so the pelvic plexus, so basically around, as we spoke about before, and again, just talking about the place of the hand. Next slide, please. So the qualities of Mooladhara are based on balance, innocence, purity, wisdom, and joy. Now, a lot of people ask, innocent, isn't that something that you would have as a child? So how can you be innocent as an adult? And that's something that we're going to talk a little bit more as we go through the slides over here. Next slide, please. So one of the things that we have with the Mooladhara and its benefits, to really work on it, it helps with having strong attention. If we really work on it a little bit more, it helps deepen the meditation, really works on the spiritual, emotional, and mental growth. Also helps us from feeling a little bit left-sided sometimes, as we would call it, which is probably towards the emotional, sometimes maybe feeling a little bit depressed or being lethargic. And really, if anything, it helps us soothe our attention. So really important for us to really pay attention to this chakra over here, because as we said before, it is the base of everything. So think of like a house, right? And you are a house yourself. So if you have not solid foundations, the house is going to be not as not sustainable in the near future. So it's very important that we get our bricks, our sort of our cement all intact, and make sure we're good. And that's what the Mooladhara basically serves for us. Next slide, please. So how do we work on balancing the Mooladhara chakra? Sitting on the Mother Earth is actually really helpful. So Mother Earth basically means any grass patches. So if you have a grass patch, maybe in your own backyard, or if you're just out and about and you're in a park, just sitting on there actually really helps. So it just really works on just sort of, again, the connection to Mother Earth is really important to help with the Mooladhara chakra. As we see on the next point over there, daily foot soak. You would have actually experienced foot soaking in the last week. I hope you all have been using that as part of your routine. I know I can speak on behalf of all the Sahaja Yogis over here. Foot soak is our staple in terms of just balancing ourselves. If we know that something doesn't feel right, we just resort to a foot soak. And the salt element just does wonders. We could spend an entire night about it, but it's just a matter of just doing it, and that's the best thing about this foot soaking over here. And as we said as well, coupled with the meditation of morning and evening. So one thing what would be really helpful is if you do a meditation, if you have a chance, go outside on your front on your yard where you have a grass patch, just sit down on it and just do your meditation there, and you can see the monumental difference in terms of how you feel. As I said to you before, Mooladhara chakra is the base of everything, like the base of a house. If you get that right, as you work through, the Kundalini will actually rise up much, much better. Next slide, please. Cool. So before we go on, let's maybe just have a sit down. If you can move yourself to a grassy patch, that would be ideal. But otherwise, all good. You can just sit down on your or on your chair or on the ground. Sitting on the ground is actually quite good as well. If you can sit cross-legged, that would be awesome too. So let's just sit down on the ground, putting both our hands up. Taking a couple of deep breaths in again. Now let's slowly bring our attention to the base of our spine. Think of it like the seed. And here we are trying to water it to let it grow. We can speak to Mother and we can ask, Mother, please awaken my Mooladhara chakra. Mother, please awaken my Mooladhara chakra. You can ask Mother and say, Mother, please establish my innocence. Please establish my innocence. What you can do if you're sitting down is a good technique to really just help with your Mooladhara chakra. As we talked about before, it's located on the plexus. So what you can do is you can just slightly tilt from one side to the other side of your glutes. Just basically go one side to the other side as you're sitting down. That's a really good way to really work on your Mooladhara chakra. So as you're sitting down, just you don't have to put your hands up, or you should keep your hands up, and just slightly go side to side, just to really work on that the Mooladhara chakra there. So just do a couple of times. The best analogy that I would give is as though you're sort of bopping and going side by side in a concert. That's a really good way to keep it as simple as you can. So just working on the Mooladhara chakra. And when you've done quite a bit, you can sit down and just be still. See as well with your hands, if you open it up, see if you can feel anything at the base of your palm. I'm definitely feeling a little bit. I feel like a cool jet just basically popped up on my hand, and I'm definitely feeling it right now at the moment. And see if you feel a bit of a subtle difference to your to the base, just at the base of your spine. So let's move on to the next chakra, which is the Swadhishthana chakra. So we can bring up the slides, please, tech team. Awesome. So the Swadhishthana chakra as we are moving up in our body, we're basically it's located just below the belly button. So I like to think just around where your hips are, just where your leg meets to your lower body. So just where that little connecting part of your leg. That's basically where your Swadhisthana is located. On your hands, it's located on your thumbs, your two thumbs over here, and in your head, usually just around, just a little bit to the top of your head. So from the lumpy side of your head, just a little bit above it. Next slide, please. So the Swadhisthana, we went from 4 petals to now we have 6 petals. The element for Swadhisthana is fire. The color of it is golden yellow. As I said to you before, it's placed on the thumb, and it's around just around where your leg and your body meet. Next slide, please. The qualities of Swadhisthana, talking about spiritual knowledge, creativity, attention. As you can see on the slide there, inspiration, anything that relates to just being creative. Sometimes a bit of dynamism and aesthetics are also really good too. So now, one of the things that people think of creativity, it means that, oh, you need to be doing something musical, whether it's be art or you have a good poetry or music or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a musician or you need to have some form of art in your life to really awaken your Swadhisthana chakra. You could be attending an art show, or you could be going for a poetry. I think they call it slam poetry. I think they call it. It's like a poem night where they listen to people basically reciting poems. Certain music that we have, as we already seen the benefit in our meditations, having music in there really works on that subtlety of the chakra. One thing to be mindful with Swadhisthana as well is that it's all about just, again, the art of expression. So it's basically helping you to really reaffirm to yourself your knowledge about yourself. The one thing that we talk about with Swadhisthana, a good way to really just sort of cultivate it is essentially either just, like I said, listening to a lot of good music. Now, good music is very, very subjective, just based to what you think of it, but you'll know when you feel the music is right for you and which music doesn't necessarily gravitate to you. So a lot of music that I guess we tend to listen to really work with our chakras. A lot of the Indian classical music is a really good way to cultivate it. Sometimes a little bit of instrumental classical music is also another good one as well. It really just depends. There's no that's the better music and that's the lower music. It's just whatever sort of really gravitates towards you. And at the end of the day, it's all about also your attention. Sometimes we can be overthinking about stuff because the Swadhisthana is where, on your right side, it's just around where your liver is. So I recall that we probably did a bit about the ice pack, putting the ice on the liver. So that's basically when we put the ice on the liver, we are actually cooling down our Swadhisthana. So our Swadhisthana is the thought where we get our thoughts over there. So we want to try and essentially don't overthink, trying to be a bit more cool on that. So if you're noticing where you have a billion and one thoughts running all at the same time, it's most likely you have an overworked Swadhisthana, and that's where you probably need to do a foot soak or an ice pack to really work on that. Another thing that could also be a chance that I guess aggravate your Swadhisthana, so to speak, if you have a bit of emotional attachment or any anger that results from that. As we saw, the element of Swadhisthana is fire, so having if it's very hot, it does feel a little bit like, if you feel a little bit of anger, you do feel that means that your Swadhisthana is again overworked. So some suggestion would be just a foot soak, just having an ice bath would be a really great way to work through that. Next slide, please. So as I said to you before, repeating basically what I have over here, talks about the inner peace, I'm not going to repeat myself over here, but I think the slides are pretty self-explanatory. Most of the times, it's a very obvious thing that we see in Sahaja Yoga. A lot of people who go through the self-realization and actually, as they venture through Sahaja Yoga, the last point is a very fun thing. It brings out artistic talent. So a little bit of a personal story over here. When I first started out I guess after I finished school, I was in that position of my life questioning about what do I want to do with my life. Being somebody who did Sahaja Yoga since I was a kid, I always thought music was just my thing. And I'm a musician myself, so I teach music and I also play music and I also make music. So one of the things I do is I thought to myself, music is always meant to be for me. It's supposed to be it's my own self-satisfaction. It's only just for my own growth. But when you get into Sahaja Yoga, and I think a lot of people in the room can agree with me, you tend to have this sort of artistic flair, and you feel like you want to do something really artistic. A true disclaimer over here: a lot of people who get their realizations, they tend to become, they start having a bit of an artistic talent. So, if you do have one, do let us know. We'll be keen to see whether you pick up an instrument, or if it's picking up a paintbrush, or maybe writing a poem yourself. So again, pure disclaimer, I think that's something that could happen. With me, I now do this as my living, being a musician. Would I trade it ever? No. So if anything, Sahaja Yoga has been helped, like because of me working on my Swadhishthana, it has helped me basically do this as a living. So yeah, that's the benefits of working on your Swadhishthana. Next slide, please. So as we all know, with every chakras, with every centers, it's good that we awaken them, but we always have to do ways to maintain it. Just like how we have a car, if any of you have a car or a vehicle, we always have to do that regular maintenance. We always have to make sure that it's all doing its regular upkeep. So we always have to find ways to balance it. So as I said before, regulation is one thing to do. Using the water of ice on the right side, as I said, it helps really cool down your liver, just to really work on that thought process. The candle flame would be really good for the left side. I don't think we've actually talked about this yet, but I think there'll be a time later on where we will talk about where we have a technique called the candling. And I think that'll be really helpful to do, especially when it comes to balancing on your left. Affirmations will also be really good. If you recall your self-realization process, we talked about when we activated, we put our hand just below at our hip area over there, and we said, "Mother, I am the pure knowledge." So that would be one way to really just affirm to yourself, because Swadhisthana is about having the knowledge of realizing yourself. So sometimes we get caught in a lot of things, and just having that affirmation just centers us a little bit more. So yes. Yep, I've just been told that we've already done a candling session last Friday, so you can actually use your candle. If you have a little candle, just put it on your left side, just around your hip area. You can just do like a quick rotation or like a bandhan kind of thing, and that would also help with the with just working on your Swadhisthana as well. But remember, it's for the left side, because we want to try and make sure that it actually works a bit more. So the right on the right side, it's all basically with the ice, and also the daily foot soak that we have to do. I just had a question being asked over there. What was the affirmation? Just reminding everybody. So remember, we talked about our right hand just towards the left side of our body, and we say, "Mother, I am the pure knowledge." So I am the pure knowledge. Okay, so next slide, please. All right, so let's do a quick meditation now. So again, sitting down. If you're on a chair, if you can go on the ground, that would be even great. But sit where comfortably you are. Closing your eyes again, hands up. Take a couple of deep breaths, please. let's take our right hand and let's put it just on the left side of our body, just where our leg meets our stomach, just around that hip area. Let's all say, Mother, I am the pure knowledge. Mother, I am the pure knowledge. We can say that 6 times, since the 6 times refers to the petals of the Swadhishthana chakra. Now, another technique that you can do as well to work on your Swadhisthana is take your right hand. Very important that we always take with our right hand, because the right hand is the hand of action, and the left hand is the hand of desire. So we always try and keep our left hand always on our lap. Right hand, if you go to where you were, where you placed your right hand to put when we said the affirmation, just do a quick gentle massage. Just quickly rotating it, either pulsing it. And you can do the same thing just on your right as well. Just a quick light massage as well. You're not supposed to be a qualified massage therapist. It's supposed to just be gentle, just working on yourself. I would suggest also try using your thumb, just really pushing into it as well, just to really help you connect with your Swadhisthana chakra. So again, on the right side and a little bit on the left as well. Again, try and using more of your thumb. Now, what we're going to do is just sit down and have a nice meditation. We'll also have some live music from Rohit in Florida, who will play in the background for us. We're going to put Shri Mataji's photo over there. So as we're doing the meditation, there will be nothing that needs to be said. It's just for you to just really absorb in and just really focus on your Mooladhara and your Swadhisthana. So as I said to you before, just a quick recap with your Mooladhara. It's located at the base of your spine, and what you can do, you can either just slightly pulse a little bit to the left, to the right, and then if you want, as you're meditating as well, focusing on your Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, if you want to do like a gentle massage on your right, just where you're, again, around your hip bone area, and just also on your left as well, just lightly touching it with your thumb, just doing that. So let's sit down, let's sit and meditate, and if Rohit is there, when you're ready, take it away. Let's get some music going. Wow. Thank you, there, Rohit. Really appreciate it. So, a fun fact that was actually what Rohit was playing over there. He was actually playing in a particular type of scale that actually resonates with the Swadhishthana chakra. So, for those of you who are Indian classical music savvy, the rag was Yaman, and that rag actually helps with activating the Swadhishthana chakra. And for those of you curious about the Mooladhara chakra, what rag would go with that? It's called the Sham Kalyan rag. So don't worry if this is a little bit over your head, that's fine. I just thought I reach out to those who are into the Indian classical music side of things. Those ragas basically resonate to the chakras that we have over here. That pretty much ends my side of things. I'll actually like to call Monica back to the screen, please. And I'd like to hand it back to you. Thanks so much again.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rohit. Wonderful session and wonderful music tonight. So thank you so much for your lovely contribution for today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined today. Also, would like to just reiterate that these energy centers are, like I've mentioned before, they are the foundation, the building block of our subtle system. And there was a lot of information that we have shared with you today, but you do not have to memorize anything. It will slowly, you register it and you won't forget it as you keep practicing and as you keep meditating with us slowly. So do not take any pressure of trying to remember or memorize all the information. Again, what matters is how you felt. Okay, so again, going back to meditation, our feelings are very, very important. How are we feeling peaceful? Is it slowing us down in terms of thinking? Is it, and with this breathing space that we get from thinking, are we becoming more focused? That is the most important thing. So again, every time you meditate, please just try to take your attention back again inside. And our goal should be to hold on to our attention in a very, very strong manner. You know, Shri Mataji has said that some people who have a very strong attention, with their attention, they can get a lot done in the limited time that they have. So if you have a lot of goals and aspirations, just remember that having a strong attention is very, very important. And at the same time, as Sean had mentioned, becoming innocent from within will give you a lot of these qualities and a lot more. So going back to basics again. So before we finish tonight's meditation, let me tell you that we will be sharing all the information from today's session in a handout. So some of you who were asking for the presentation, or some of you who might still want to keep this information, we will be sharing the handout. We'll try to share it on the chat here and also on the WhatsApp groups. So you can download it and keep it with you. And all of this information, in case you are watching and you are not on the WhatsApp groups, or you are not on Zoom session right now, all of this information will also be on the website freemeditation.com.au/AUG2023. In the resources tab that I had showed you earlier, all the information, the talks that we are playing, the recordings of the sessions, and also the handouts that we're sharing, everything, even the music that we play on these sessions, everything is being uploaded there, so you can enjoy it and use it wisely in your own time. So on that note, let us just finish off by again raising our attention. It's always nice to finish off with meditation and our attention back on the subtle, on the Sahasrara, the seventh energy center on the top of our head. So let us just again, just breathe in and breathe out. And just say, Mother, please awaken the innocence within me. Make me innocent like a small child. And Mother, please give me the wisdom, the divine discretion to know the right from the wrong. Mother, please strengthen my attention from within. And please remove all the distractions, anything and everything that spoils my attention. And let us slowly raise our hand from the base of our spine, the right hand, and slowly bring it up and rest it on the top of our head. Let's do it 3 times. So bring your hand at the base of your spine, palm facing upwards, and then just slowly bring it back up and rest it on the top of your head. And for the 3rd time, in doing so, we are sort of using our right side to pick up or to ask our Mother Kundalini to raise a few strands and purify our subtle system. And in the same state of meditation, let us put ourselves into a bandhan. As always, we will keep our left hand open, palm facing upwards, and our right hand will move around it. So let us start from the base of our spine and slowly bring it on top of our head and tie it into a single knot. Let's do it for the second time. Our right hand goes around the left, slowly on top of our head, and 2 knots. And for the third time, right hand moves around, the left hand goes up, and 3 knots. Now for the bandhan, let's move our right hand around like a rainbow 7 times. That's 1. Bringing it back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And to finish, let's fold our hands, gently bow our heads. And again, just remember that our attention is very, very precious. We do not need to put our attention on things that spoil our attention, on things that disturb us. So please protect yourself, protect your attention by putting it on positive things, putting it on things that bring you joy, on doing things that bring you joy. So if you haven't before, pick up that paintbrush. If you have the desire to paint, if you haven't before, pick up a pen and write the poem that you've always wanted to write, or put on some dancing shoes and go and dance, or anything it is that you've always wanted to do. Just do those things that bring you joy and that make you more vibrant and dynamic as a person. Do not put your attention on anything that will disturb you. So like I said, children, music, arts, everything that can bring that joy back to you, this is your cue. Please do that. And on that note, we're going to finish today's session. We're going to open the chat so you can let us know how you feel. And we'll play some music to finish off. And we'll see you tomorrow for another vibrant session. Thank you so much. So we can have some nice music, and also if we can enable the chat.